Man, we need to see your papers. Immigration documents.
I'm American. I was born in Texas.
Sure. Do you have a passport on you? Birth certificate?
No, I just finished my shift. My driver's license is in my car.
Ma'am, we need to see your papers, immigration documents. I'm American. I was born in Texas. Sure. Do you have a passport on you? Birth certificate? No, I just finished my shift. I have my driver's license in my car. Hospital badge doesn't prove citizenship. Those are easy to fake. I've worked here for 8 years. I'm a registered nurse. Ma'am, you're making this more difficult than it needs to be. We need documentation, now. I told you, my license is right there in my car. I can show you. She's refusing to comply. Call for backup. Agent Foster had no idea what he just walked into. In the next 6 hours, his career would end. A federal investigation would expose racial profiling affecting 23 American citizens, and the nurse standing in front of him would walk away with $14.8 million. The woman they dismissed was Vanessa Rodriguez. She was a third-generation American citizen. She was a registered nurse with 8 years at County General Hospital. She was born in Houston, Texas. She had every legal document proving her citizenship since birth. Her father was a retired federal judge. Her mother worked for the ACLU for 22 years, and the hospital cameras were recording everything. Before I continue, let me ask you this. Have you ever been judged unfairly because of how you look? Drop your answer in the comments. But Agents Foster and Chen had no idea who they were handcuffing in that parking lot. Her name was Vanessa Maria Rodriguez. She was 36 years old. She worked as a registered nurse in the emergency department at County General Hospital in Phoenix. She graduated from Arizona State University in 2013 with a nursing degree. She had 13 years of nursing experience. She worked at County General for 8 years. She specialized in trauma and emergency care. In 2019, she was named Employee of the Year. She mentored 12 new nurses. She saved lives every single day. But here's what those agents didn't know. Her father was the Honorable Miguel Rodriguez. He was a retired federal judge who served 28 years in the U.S. District Court in Texas. Her mother was Carmen Rodriguez. She worked as a civil rights lawyer for the ACLU for 22 years. Vanessa grew up watching her parents fight for people's rights. She understood the Constitution better than most lawyers. She was a third-generation American. Her grandparents came to America legally from Mexico in 1952. She was born in Houston in 1988. She owned her home in Phoenix. She voted in every election since 2006. She had a clean record and a valid passport. On this Tuesday morning in March 2024, Vanessa just wanted to go home. She had worked a brutal 12-hour overnight shift. She helped save 3 lives. She had no idea she was about to become a victim herself. Agent Marcus Foster had a reputation within ICE's Phoenix field office, and it wasn't good. Marcus Foster was 41 years old. He worked for ICE for 9 years. His partner was Agent David Chen. Chen was 29 years old. He worked for ICE for 3 years. But here's the pattern that nobody stopped. Internal records later showed that Foster made 47 detentions in 18 months. 23 of them were U.S. citizens. That's nearly half. Every single one was a person of color. Let me tell you about Foster's previous incidents. In September 2023, he detained Maria Santos outside her children's school in Tempe. She was a U.S. citizen born in California. She was just picking up her kids. Foster held her for 4 hours. Then a supervisor released her. No apology was given. In December 2023, Foster stopped Jorge Mendez at a gas station. Jorge was a truck driver born in Arizona. Foster demanded his passport. He held Jorge in an ICE vehicle for 90 minutes. In February 2024, Foster approached Rosa Delgado in a Walmart parking lot. Rosa was born in New Mexico. She was a grandmother of 5. Foster held her for 3 hours demanding documents she didn't carry while shopping. Other ICE agents called him Foster the Profiler behind his back. 2 agents filed formal complaints about his targeting methods. Supervisors warned him twice about his actions, but he received no real punishment, no retraining, no discipline. Type justice in the comments if you think this pattern was wrong. On March 12, 2024, Foster's pattern was about to hit someone who could fight back, and this time, the cameras were rolling. It was Tuesday, March 12, 2024, at 7:23 in the morning. The location was County General Hospital in Phoenix, Arizona. Specifically, it was the employee parking lot, Section C. This was a staff-only area. County General is a 450-bed hospital. It's a Level 1 trauma center. It serves mostly Latino patients, about 65%. The morning was clear. The temperature was 68 degrees. Day shift workers were arriving. Night shift workers were leaving. You could hear car doors closing, footsteps, distant ambulance sirens. It was a normal Tuesday morning. About 15 to 20 staff members were in the parking lot. Hospital security guard James Mitchell was doing his rounds. James had worked there for 23 years. Vanessa Rodriguez was ending her shift. She worked from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Dr. Sarah Kim was arriving for her day shift. She's a cardiologist. 2 other nurses were walking to their cars. A maintenance worker was emptying trash bins. Vanessa was tired. She wore navy blue scrubs with the hospital logo. Her hospital ID badge was clipped to her scrub top. It showed her photo, her name, and the words RN Emergency Department. She carried her work bag. Her keys were in her hand. She was walking toward her 2019 Toyota Camry. It was parked in space, C47. She was just 30 feet from her car. Then an unmarked white Ford Explorer entered the parking lot. Agents Foster and Chen were inside. They had been doing field surveillance in the area. They had no warrant, no tip, no reason. Foster saw Vanessa walking to her car. He told Chen, "That one, let's check her. If stories like this matter to you, hit subscribe." They got out and walked toward her from behind. "Excuse me, ma'am. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. We need to see your documentation." Vanessa turned around. She was confused. She saw 2 men in casual clothes. Then she noticed the ICE badges on their belts. Her heart started racing. She was exhausted, but she knew this wasn't right. "I'm a U.S. citizen. I was born in Houston. I'm a nurse here." She pointed to her ID badge. "The badge doesn't prove citizenship. Anyone can work here," Chen said. "My driver's license is in my car right there. I can get it." "Do you have a passport, birth certificate, real documentation?" Foster asked. Vanessa felt her frustration building. "I don't carry my passport to work. I have my Arizona driver's license in my car." "That proves I'm a citizen," Foster interrupted her. "License doesn't prove citizenship either. We need federal documents." Vanessa stayed calm. "Then I can get my social security card when I get home, or my birth certificate. But I don't understand why you're stopping me. I haven't done anything wrong." Chen stepped closer. "Ma'am, we're conducting a lawful immigration check." Vanessa set a boundary. "Am I being detained? Because if not, I'd like to go to my car and go home." Foster's tone got harder. "We're asking you questions. You need to cooperate." "I am cooperating. I told you I'm a citizen. I told you where my ID is. What else do you need?" "Your attitude is making this harder than it needs to be," Foster said. Then he threatened her. "If you don't provide documentation right now, we have grounds to detain you." Vanessa stayed firm but not aggressive. "I've told you I have documentation in my car. I'm willing to show it to you. I'm not refusing anything." "She's being evasive. She's not providing documents," Chen said. "I'm standing right here answering your questions. How is that evasive?" Vanessa asked. Foster crossed the line. "Ma'am, last chance. Provide proof of citizenship or we're taking you in." Vanessa didn't back down. "Taking me in for what? I haven't committed a crime. I'm a registered nurse. I work here. You can verify that with hospital security right over there." Foster cut her off. "We don't need to verify anything with anyone. We're federal agents." Then witnesses started reacting. Dr. Sarah Kim stopped walking. She pulled out her phone. She started recording. "Excuse me, what's happening here? That's Vanessa. She works here." Security guard James Mitchell walked over. "Is there a problem, officers? Can I help?" "Federal matter. Step back," Foster said to Mitchell. Another nurse named Patricia Hayes called from 20 feet away. "Vanessa, do you need me to call someone?" Foster's voice got louder. "Ma'am, turn around. Put your hands behind your back." "What? Why?" "I haven't done anything," Vanessa said. "You're being detained for failure to provide proof of legal status." Chen spoke into his radio. "She's refusing to comply, requesting backup." Foster grabbed Vanessa's wrist. "Don't touch me. I told you I have ID in my car," Vanessa said. Mitchell stepped forward. "Hey, hold on. She's a nurse here. I can verify her." "I said step back or you'll be charged with obstruction," Foster yelled. "Now here's what happened next." "Excuse me, ma'am. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. We need documentation." Vanessa turned around. She saw 2 men in casual clothes. She noticed ICE badges on their belts. "I'm a U.S. citizen. I was born in Houston. I'm a nurse here." She pointed to her ID badge. "The badge doesn't prove citizenship," Chen said. "My driver's license is in my car. I can get it." "Do you have a passport, birth certificate, real documentation?" Foster asked. "I don't carry my passport to work. I have my license in my car," Foster interrupted. "License doesn't prove citizenship. We need federal documents." Vanessa stayed calm. "I can get my social security card at home, or my birth certificate. But why are you stopping me? I haven't done anything wrong." Chen stepped closer. "We're conducting a lawful immigration check." "Am I being detained?" "If not, I'd like to go home," Vanessa said. Foster's tone hardened. "We're asking questions. You need to cooperate." "I am cooperating." "I told you I'm a citizen. What else do you need?" "Your attitude is making this harder," Foster said. He threatened her. "If you don't provide documentation now, we're taking you in." Vanessa stayed firm. "I told you I have documentation in my car. I'm not refusing anything." She's being evasive, Chen said. I'm standing here answering questions. How is that evasive? Foster crossed the line. Last chance. Provide proof or we're taking you in. Taking me in for what? I'm a registered nurse. You can verify with security. We don't need to verify anything. We're federal agents, Foster said. Witnesses started reacting. Dr. Sarah Kim pulled out her phone and started recording. What's happening? That's Vanessa. She works here. Security guard James Mitchell walked over. Is there a problem? Federal matter. Step back, Foster told Mitchell. Another nurse yelled, Vanessa, do you need help? Foster's voice got loud. Turn around. Hands behind your back. What? Why? Vanessa asked. You're being detained for failure to provide legal status proof. Chen spoke into his radio. Requesting backup. Foster grabbed Vanessa's wrist. Don't touch me. I have ID in my car. Mitchell stepped forward. She's a nurse here. I can verify. Step back or you'll be charged with obstruction, Foster yelled. At 7:31 a.m., 3 more ICE agents arrived in 2 vehicles. Vanessa was handcuffed. Her hands were behind her back, metal cuffs. She stood there in her scrubs. Hospital employees were gathering. 8 people were watching. Dr. Kim was still recording. She was now on FaceTime with a hospital administrator. Security guard Mitchell had called the hospital director of security. Then Vanessa revealed what the agents didn't know. Her voice was shaking but controlled. I'm invoking my 4th Amendment rights. You have no warrant, no probable cause, and no reasonable suspicion. This is an unlawful detention. Foster was dismissive. You don't get to invoke anything. We're federal agents doing immigration enforcement. My father is a retired federal judge. I know exactly what my rights are, and you just violated them on camera, Vanessa said. Chen laughed. Sure he is. Everyone's father is a judge. Witnesses started speaking up. Dr. Sarah Kim was recording on her phone. I'm Dr. Kim. I've worked with Vanessa for 6 years. She's an American citizen. She's a registered nurse. This is wrong. I'm sending this video to our legal department right now. James Mitchell was on the phone with hospital security. They're detaining Vanessa Rodriguez. Yes, Nurse Vanessa. She's in handcuffs. No, they won't talk to me. They threatened to arrest me. Patricia Hayes was yelling from 15 feet away. This is racial profiling. You didn't stop anyone else, just her. We're all witnesses. 2 other nurses were filming. A maintenance worker was recording. A driver in a nearby car was recording. Evidence was being documented everywhere. The hospital parking lot camera captured the entire interaction. It had wide-angle views with timestamps and audio. 5 cell phones recorded from different angles. Hospital badge records showed Vanessa badged in at 6:58 p.m. the night before. She worked a full 12-hour shift. Hospital HR had 8 years of employment records. They had her social security number on file. They had her background check. They had her I-9 documentation. Security guard Mitchell was typing an incident report on his phone in real time. At 7:34 a.m., the hospital director of security arrived. His name was Robert Chen, no relation to Agent Chen. He walked up to the agents. Gentlemen, I'm Robert Chen, director of security. That woman is Vanessa Rodriguez. She's been an employee here for 8 years. We have all her documentation on file. She's a U.S. citizen. Can you tell me what reason you had to detain her? Foster responded, We don't answer to hospital security. This is federal. Chen pushed back. I'm former Phoenix PD. I worked there 20 years. I know what reasonable suspicion looks like. What did she do? She failed to provide documentation, Foster said. She offered to get her driver's license from her car. You refused. I have that on our cameras, Chen said. At 7:37 a.m., agents walked Vanessa to their unmarked vehicle. Vanessa called to Dr. Kim. Call my father, Miguel Rodriguez. Tell him ICE detained me. He'll know what to do. Get in the vehicle, Foster ordered. Hospital staff were shouting. This is wrong. We're witnesses. We have your badge numbers. Vanessa was placed in the back seat. No seatbelt was provided. The vehicle left for an ICE detention facility 40 minutes away. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. By 7:40 a.m., the hospital legal department was contacted. Dr. Kim sent the video to the hospital CEO and legal team. Security Director Chen started pulling all camera footage. 4 staff members posted videos to social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. The hospital nurses union was contacted. At 8:15 a.m., Vanessa arrived at an ICE detention facility. She was processed like any detainee. Fingerprints, photos, her possessions were taken. She was placed in a holding cell with 3 other women. She kept saying, I'm a U.S. citizen. Check my fingerprints. Check my social security number. Call the hospital. The agents ignored her for 2 hours. She wasn't allowed a phone call at first. No water, no food, no explanation. Meanwhile, the investigation was starting. At 9:47 a.m., hospital CEO Dr. Jennifer Martinez called the ICE Phoenix field office director. You have our employee in detention. She's a U.S. citizen. We have 8 years of employment records. What is happening? At 10:12 a.m., the hospital legal team sent a formal demand letter to ICE. At 10:30 a.m., Vanessa's father called. Judge Miguel Rodriguez was retired but still powerful. He called ICE Field Office Director Luis Ramirez directly. My daughter was detained this morning without a warrant or probable cause. I'm giving you 30 minutes to verify her citizenship and release her, or I'm filing a federal civil rights lawsuit by noon. Director Ramirez reviewed Foster's incident report. The report claimed Vanessa appeared to be a foreign national. It said she refused to provide documentation. It said she became hostile. Ramirez was immediately suspicious. Foster's reports had been flagged before. At 11:03 a.m., Ramirez ordered immediate fingerprint and social security verification. The results came back in 8 minutes. Vanessa Maria Rodriguez, born Houston, Texas, 1988, valid social security number since birth, U.S. passport issued 2019, Arizona driver's license, 0 criminal record, registered nurse license, registered voter. Ramirez demanded Foster and Chen's body camera footage. Neither agent had turned on their body cameras. That was a violation of ICE policy. Ramirez reviewed the hospital security footage. He watched 5 witness cell phone videos. He listened to Foster and Chen's radio communications. Foster's story fell apart. Claim 1 was that Vanessa refused to provide documentation. Reality was that video showed Vanessa offering to get her driver's license. Foster refused to let her. Claim 2 was that Vanessa became hostile and wouldn't cooperate. Reality was that audio showed Vanessa calm and respectful. She kept explaining she was a citizen. Claim 3 was that Foster had reasonable suspicion based on her behavior. Reality was that Vanessa was simply walking to her car in scrubs with a visible hospital ID. At 11:28 a.m., Ramirez ordered her immediate release. Foster and Chen were suspended pending investigation. An internal affairs investigation was opened. All footage was preserved as evidence. The Department of Homeland Security Office of Inspector General was notified. At 11:45 a.m., Vanessa was released. She had been in detention for 6 hours and 8 minutes. There was no formal apology. Just administrative error. You're free to go. Her possessions were returned. No transportation was provided. Hospital security director drove 40 minutes to pick her up. Vanessa was exhausted, humiliated, angry, traumatized. At 12:30 p.m., Vanessa arrived home and broke down crying. Her father flew in from Texas that evening. The hospital placed her on paid leave for 1 week to recover. If you believe this was wrong, hit that subscribe button. Hospital CEO issued a statement. We stand with our employee and demand accountability. Hospital staff rallied around Vanessa. Over 200 people signed a support letter. The local nurses union issued a statement against the detention, but while Vanessa was trying to process what happened, the videos were spreading. At 8:15 a.m., Vanessa arrived at ICE detention. She was processed like any detainee. Fingerprints, photos, possessions taken. She was put in a holding cell with 3 other women. She kept saying, "I'm a U.S. citizen. Check my fingerprints. Check my social security number." Agents ignored her for 2 hours. No phone call, no water, no food. Meanwhile, investigation started. At 9:47 a.m., hospital CEO called ICE Phoenix director. "You have our employee. She's a U.S. citizen. We have 8 years of records. What's happening?" At 10:30 a.m., Vanessa's father called. Judge Miguel Rodriguez called ICE Director Luis Ramirez directly. "My daughter was detained without warrant or probable cause. I'm giving you 30 minutes to verify citizenship and release her, or I'm filing a federal lawsuit by noon." Ramirez reviewed Foster's report. It claimed Vanessa appeared foreign. It said she refused documentation. It said she was hostile. Ramirez was suspicious. Foster's reports had been flagged before. At 11:03 a.m., Ramirez ordered fingerprint and social security verification. Results came back in 8 minutes. Vanessa Maria Rodriguez, born Houston, 1988, valid SSN since birth, U.S. passport 2019, Arizona license, 0 criminal record, registered nurse, registered voter. Ramirez demanded body camera footage. Neither agent turned on cameras. Policy violation. He reviewed hospital security footage, 5 witness phone videos, radio communications. Foster's story fell apart. Claim 1, Vanessa refused documentation. Reality, video showed she offered to get license. Foster refused. Claim 2, Vanessa was hostile. Reality, audio showed her calm and respectful. Claim 3, reasonable suspicion. Reality, she was walking to her car in scrubs with hospital ID. At 11:28 a.m., Ramirez ordered immediate release. Foster and Chen suspended. Internal Affairs opened investigation. All footage preserved. Inspector General notified. At 11:45 a.m., Vanessa released. 6 hours, 8 minutes in detention. No apology. Just administrative error, you're free to go. Possessions returned. No ride provided. Security director drove 40 minutes to get her. Vanessa was exhausted, humiliated, angry, traumatized. At 12:30 p.m., she got home and cried. Her father flew from Texas that evening. Hospital gave her paid leave for 1 week. If you believe this was wrong, hit subscribe. CEO issued statement. We stand with our employee. Staff rallied. Over 200 signed support letters. Nurses, union condemned detention. While Vanessa processed what happened, videos were spreading. By 9:30 a.m., the first video was uploaded to Twitter. Dr. Kim posted it. Her caption said, "ICE just detained my colleague, a U.S. citizen and registered nurse, in our hospital parking lot. No warrant, no cause, just racial profiling. This is America in 2024. By 10:15 a.m., it had 15,000 views and 2,000 retweets. By 11 a.m., Phoenix Nurses Union picked it up. They shared it with 8,000 members. By noon, it was trending locally. The hashtags were Free Vanessa, ICE Overreach, and Racial Profiling. By 1 p.m., it had 400,000 views across platforms. By 3 p.m., local news stations were running the story. KPNX, KSAZ, and KNXV all covered it. By 5 p.m., national coverage began. CNN and MSNBC mentioned it. By 8 p.m., it had 2.3 million views on TikTok alone. By midnight, it had over 8 million combined views. Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. The metrics were huge. Twitter had 12 million impressions. ICE detains nurse was trending number 3 nationally. TikTok had 8.4 million views, 1.2 million likes, and 340,000 shares. Instagram had 2.1 million views. Facebook was shared 180,000 times. YouTube news clips got 1.5 million views. The public response was massive. A lawyer with 3 million followers wrote, "This is a clear Fourth Amendment violation. Constitutional crisis." Congresswoman AOC tweeted, "ICE continues to terrorize communities of color, even U.S. citizens. We need accountability now." The ACLU wrote, "Racial profiling is illegal. Detaining a U.S. citizen without cause is unconstitutional. We're investigating." National Nurses United posted, "Our nurses deserve safety and respect, not harassment. Stand with Vanessa." There were over 45,000 comments of support. Media coverage exploded. All 4 Phoenix stations led with the story for 3 days. State papers picked it up. National networks covered it. Even international media mentioned it. BBC and Al Jazeera used it as an example of U.S. immigration enforcement issues. ICE Phoenix issued a statement. "We are reviewing the incident. The agents have been placed on leave. We take misconduct allegations seriously." The hospital released full footage backing Vanessa. Foster and Chen hired lawyers and refused comment. The ICE union defended them, saying agents followed protocol, but video evidence proved them wrong. Foster deleted his social media. Screenshots of questionable posts already spread. Chen's LinkedIn went private. 3 days later, on March 15th, Vanessa did something that changed everything. What do you think about how fast this spread? Comment below. She held a press conference, and she brought her father. By 9:30 a.m., first video uploaded to Twitter. Dr. Kim posted with caption, "ICE detained my colleague, a U.S. citizen and nurse, in our parking lot. No warrant, just racial profiling." By 10:15 a.m., 15,000 views, 2,000 retweets. By 11 a.m., Phoenix Nurses Union shared to 8,000 members. By noon, trending locally with Free Vanessa, ICE Overreach, Racial Profiling. By 1 p.m., 400,000 views. By 3 p.m., local news stations covering. By 5 p.m., CNN and MSNBC mentioned it. By 8 p.m., 2.3 million TikTok views. By midnight, over 8 million combined views across platforms. Twitter, 12 million impressions, ICE detains nurse trending number 3. TikTok, 8.4 million views, 1.2 million likes. Instagram, 2.1 million views. Facebook, 180,000 shares. YouTube, 1.5 million views. Public response massive. Lawyer tweeted, "Clear Fourth Amendment violation." AOC tweeted, "ICE terrorizes communities, even citizens. Need accountability." ACLU, "Racial profiling illegal. We're investigating." National Nurses United, "Stand with Vanessa." Over 45,000 support comments. Media exploded. Phoenix stations led for 3 days. State and national papers covered. International media mentioned as example of U.S. enforcement issues. ICE statement, reviewing incident. Agents on leave. Hospital released footage backing Vanessa. Foster and Chen hired lawyers, refused comment. Union defended them. Video proved them wrong. Foster deleted social media. Screenshots already spread. Chen's LinkedIn private. 3 days later, March 15th, Vanessa held press conference. What do you think about how this spread? She brought her father. On March 25, 2024, Vanessa filed a federal civil rights lawsuit. The case was Rodriguez versus United States Department of Homeland Security, Foster and Chen, filed in U.S. District Court in Arizona. The claims were Fourth Amendment violation for unlawful detention, equal protection violation for racial profiling, false imprisonment, and causing emotional distress. Her lawyers came from the ACLU and a major Phoenix firm. Her father's former law clerk helped. They demanded $15 million plus policy reforms. From June to September 2024, evidence was collected. What they found was devastating. Foster's detention records showed 47 stops in 18 months. 23 were U.S. citizens. 100% were people of color. Internal ICE emails showed 2 supervisors flagged Foster's concerning patterns, but they took no action. Body camera records showed Foster failed to turn on cameras in 31 of 47 stops. Complaint history showed 7 formal complaints against Foster. 0 resulted in discipline. Chen's record showed 12 stops in 3 years. 5 were U.S. citizens, all people of color. Text messages between Foster and Chen had racially charged language, jokes about catching people, derogatory terms. Training records showed both completed anti-bias training, but behavior never changed. Wait until you hear what happened next. 18 other U.S. citizens detained by Foster contacted the ACLU. They all described similar experiences. The pattern was undeniable. In November 2024, the federal government tried to settle. They wanted to avoid trial that would expose failures. First offer was $3.5 million. Vanessa rejected it. This isn't about money, it's about accountability. December 2024, offer increased to $8 million. Vanessa still refused without policy reforms. January 2025, final settlement reached. The total was $14.8 million, $10 million in damages for emotional distress, lost wages, and suffering. $4.8 million in punitive damages, all attorney fees covered separately. But Vanessa demanded more than money. The settlement included binding policy reforms for ICE Phoenix, mandatory body cameras for all field stops, supervisor approval required before any detention, annual anti-bias training with real accountability, new complaint process with external review, quarterly reporting of detention demographics. Social consequences included permanent restraining orders. Both agents banned from contacting Vanessa or entering hospital property. Professional consequences were severe. Foster was fired from ICE in December 2024. Chen resigned in November 2024. Foster's certification revoked. He can't work federal law enforcement again. Both agents struggled to find any law enforcement work. No criminal charges were filed. The Justice Department declined prosecution, but the civil settlement included admission that detention was without legal justification. Foster's personnel file says terminated for cause, civil rights violations. Foster is unemployed as of January 2025. He moved out of state. Chen works private security with drastically reduced income. Both still face potential lawsuits from other victims. Foster made a brief statement through his lawyer. "I regret the incident and learned from it. No personal apology to Vanessa." The statement was widely criticized as inadequate. On January 15, 2025, Vanessa held a press conference. "This settlement represents justice, but not healing. The trauma of being detained and handcuffed because of how I look doesn't go away with a check. But I hope this sends a message. You cannot violate rights without consequences. You cannot target people based on race without accountability. And to every U.S. citizen of color living in fear, you matter. Your rights matter. I'll keep fighting." March 25, 2024, Vanessa filed federal lawsuit. Rodriguez vs. U.S. Department of Homeland Security, Foster Chen. Claims: Fourth Amendment violation, equal protection violation, false imprisonment, emotional distress. ACLU and Phoenix firm represented her. Demanded $15 million plus reforms. June to September, evidence collected. Foster's records: 47 stops in 18 months. 23 were citizens. 100% people of color. ICE emails. 2 supervisors flagged Foster's patterns. No action taken. Camera violations. Foster didn't activate in 31 of 47 stops. 7 complaints against Foster. 0 discipline. Chen's record: 12 stops. 5 citizens. All people of color. Text messages. Racially charged language between Foster and Chen. Both completed bias training, no behavior change. Wait until you hear what the settlement was. 18 other citizens detained by Foster contacted ACLU. Pattern undeniable. November 2024, government tried settling. Avoid trial exposing failures. First offer, $3.5 million. Vanessa rejected. Not about money, about accountability. December, offer raised to $8 million. Vanessa refused without reforms. January 2025, final settlement, $14.8 million total, $10 million damages, $4.8 million punitive, fees covered separately. Policy reforms included mandatory body cameras, supervisor approval for detentions, annual bias training, external complaint review, quarterly demographic reporting, permanent restraining orders against both agents. Foster fired December 2024. Chen resigned November 2024. Foster certification revoked. Can't work federal law enforcement. Both struggle finding work. No criminal charges filed. Settlement admitted detention was without legal justification. Foster unemployed, moved out of state. Chen works private security, reduced income. Both face potential lawsuits from other victims. Foster statement, I regret incident, learned from it. No personal apology. Widely criticized. January 15, 2025, Vanessa press conference. Settlement is justice, not healing. Trauma doesn't go away with check, but this sends message. Cannot violate rights without consequences. Cannot target based on race. To every citizen of color in fear, you matter, your rights matter, I'll keep fighting. The press conference was at the Phoenix ACLU office on January 15, 2025. Vanessa spoke about her personal impact. For 6 hours, I sat in a cell wondering if I'd lose my nursing license, if I'd ever feel safe again. If being American mattered when you look like me, I couldn't sleep for weeks. I panicked every time I saw a white SUV. I'm a trauma nurse. I've saved lives in my ER, but I couldn't save myself from my own government. She spoke from her professional perspective. I had resources most people don't. My father is a federal judge. I knew my rights. I had witnesses. I had video evidence. And it still took 6 hours to prove I belong in my own country. Think about people who don't have what I had. Think about American citizens detained every day without cameras, without lawyers, without anyone believing them. That's who I'm fighting for now. Her message to workers was clear. To every person of color in America, you have rights. You don't have to carry papers everywhere. You don't have to prove you belong. You shouldn't live in fear of your government. What happened to me was illegal. It was unconstitutional. You deserve better. Her message to the public was direct. This is what racial profiling looks like. Federal agents seeing a brown woman and assuming she's not American. Respect isn't something we earn. It's something we're entitled to. Consequences for violating rights need to be real. What Vanessa wants is change. ICE needs federal oversight. Body cameras should be mandatory. Racial profiling data must be public. We need to stop treating people of color as suspects in their own country. She expressed gratitude to Dr. Kim, who pulled out her phone, to James Mitchell, who tried to intervene, to my colleagues who rallied around me, to my father, who taught me rights only matter if you fight for them. Thank you. Her closing quote was powerful. I'm a nurse. I took an oath to do no harm. But I also took an oath as a citizen to uphold the Constitution. I won't stop fighting until every person can walk to their car without fear. Until being American means something regardless of what you look like. Until the Constitution protects all of us, not just some of us. Press conference at Phoenix ACLU, January 15, 2025. Vanessa spoke about impact. For 6 hours, I sat in a cell wondering if I'd lose my license, if I'd feel safe again, if being American mattered when you look like me. I couldn't sleep for weeks. I panicked seeing white SUVs. I'm a trauma nurse. I save lives, but I couldn't save myself from my own government. Professional perspective. I had resources most don't. My father is a judge. I knew my rights. I had witnesses and video. Still took 6 hours to prove I belong. Think about people without what I had. Citizens detained daily without cameras or lawyers. That's who I'm fighting for. Message to workers. To every person of color, you have rights. Don't carry papers everywhere. Don't prove you belong. Don't live in fear. What happened was illegal and unconstitutional. You deserve better. Message to public. This is racial profiling. Agent seeing brown woman assuming not American. Respect isn't earned. It's entitled. Consequences must be real. What she wants. ICE needs oversight, mandatory body cameras, public profiling data, stop treating people of color as suspects. Gratitude to Dr. Kim who filmed, James Mitchell who intervened, colleagues who rallied, my father who taught me to fight for rights. Thank you. Closing, I'm a nurse. I took oath to do no harm. Also took oath to uphold Constitution. Won't stop fighting until every person can walk to car without fear. Until being American means something regardless of appearance. Until Constitution protects all, not some. This case exposed a bigger problem. Between 2019 and 2024, ICE detained about 1,500 U.S. citizens nationwide. 82% were Latino, despite Latinos being 18% of the U.S. population. Average detention time was 8.7 hours, some held for days or weeks. A 2020 report showed ICE lacks safeguards to prevent citizen detention. Only 3% of wrongful detentions result in agent discipline. Vanessa's case was different because she had video, legal expertise, institutional support, media attention, and resources for lawyers. But the violation itself was completely typical. The root causes are clear. Cultural assumptions that brown skin means foreign. Structural policies where ICE operates with minimal oversight. Legal gaps where immunity protects agents. Economic imbalances where most victims can't afford to sue. Training failures without enforcement. Supervisors who knew Foster's pattern but did nothing. This exposed bigger problems. 2019 to 2024, ICE detained 1,500 U.S. citizens, 82% Latino, average detention 8.7 hours, some held days. ICE lacks safeguards. Only 3% of wrongful detentions result in discipline. Vanessa different, had video, legal expertise, support, resources, but violation itself typical. Root causes, assumptions brown skin means foreign. ICE minimal oversight, immunity protects agents. Most victims can't afford lawyers. Training without enforcement. Supervisors knew Foster's pattern, did nothing. So let me ask you, do we accept a system where agents can detain citizens based on how they look? Where being brown means carrying papers everywhere? Where 6 hours in detention is called an administrative error? Do we believe accountability should only come when you have resources and cameras, or should it be automatic? Do we want to live where Vanessa has to prove she's American in a hospital parking lot? Where nurses are handcuffed going home from saving lives? Where citizenship means something different based on skin color? Because if we don't reform ICE, if we don't demand body cameras and oversight and real consequences for racial profiling, if we don't close the immunity loophole that lets agents violate rights without penalty, then we're just waiting for the next Foster, the next Vanessa, the next $14.8 million settlement that changes one life but doesn't fix the system. We're accepting that some Americans live in fear of their own government. And that's not justice, that's surrender. Comment below if you believe ICE needs federal oversight and mandatory body cameras. Tell me if you think immunity should protect agents who racially profile citizens. I want to know where you stand. If you think stories like this matter, hit that subscribe button. We're going to keep exposing these patterns. We're going to keep demanding better. We're going to keep fighting for accountability that actually means something. For consequences that actually deter violations. For a country where your rights don't depend on who your father is or whether someone was filming. This isn't just about one agent or one nurse. It's about all of us and the system we're willing to tolerate. The question is, are we willing to tolerate this? Because Vanessa Rodriguez isn't, and neither should you. See you in the next one. So let me ask you, do we accept agents detaining citizens based on appearance? Where being brown means carrying papers everywhere? Where 6 hours detention is administrative error? Do we believe accountability needs resources and cameras? Or should it be automatic? Do we want nurses handcuffed after saving lives? Citizenship meaning different things based on skin color? Because if we don't reform ICE, demand cameras and oversight, close immunity loopholes, we're waiting for next Foster, next Vanessa, next settlement that changes one life but not the system. Some Americans living in fear of government. That's not justice, that's surrender. Comment if you believe ICE needs oversight and cameras. Tell me if immunity should protect profiling agents. I want to know where you stand. If stories like this matter, hit subscribe. We're exposing these patterns, demanding better, fighting for real accountability, real consequences. A country where rights don't depend on who your father is or whether someone filmed. This isn't about one agent or nurse. It's about all of us and the system we tolerate. Are we willing to tolerate this? Vanessa Rodriguez isn't. Neither should you. See you next time.